teams over, as have New Zealand and China. 80.7 Australia leads the teams coming into cross country. 2.6 below them is Japan. Yes, fourth in Tokyo. I think they can be banged there in Paris as well. 2.6 off of Australia as a team total, and nothing between them. 9 points then separates Australia and New Zealand, and China knocking on the door, just 10 points behind again. It is very, very tight here, and it's a huge high-stakes game, this three-star long here at Millstreet. Well done, FEI. Well done, Millstreet, for hosting this. Some of the top horses in the world are here from Australasia, and it is great to have you here.
Oh, it really is. And looking down to the start sheet now, ladies and gents, you have some amazing riders, like the likes of Andrew Hoy, Alex Hattian, Shane Rose, Nick Brooks. There are just super riders. Janelle Price is on the list as well, Kevin McNabb. And it's just great from our point of view and from Millstreet's point of view to get such high caliber riders here really chasing those valuable qualifying points. And I think this is going to be shaping up to a really good competition. And even if you were looking at it from an individual basis, it's still a very tight competition.
It is, I love it, yeah. And we've got some great Irish breds. We've got the best event horses there. Also from South Africa, from Morocco. Don't put them out of the equation either. And listen, all to play for. We're looking at a start time of 3 o'clock. We're about 8 minutes to go. Same track as we've just had on the 3 long. And there was plenty out there. Time was nice and tight. You had to earn it to get it, don't you? And as befits a top international.
Oh, for sure. Like, the time has been tight all day, even in the first class we had this morning, the 4-star long. It really put it up to the riders. And again, from the last class, Chris, what are the combinations you'd be looking at which could potentially cause a little bit of trouble?
The time, first of all, is the biggest consideration. There's no doubt at all. And even under perfect foot conditions at 3-star long, you're going to earn it. And but we have some of the top horses that have graced any event track anywhere. Vasily de Lassos is one that really caught the eye. Andrew Hoy. He went to Strigom and he was just in behind the Superstition there in Harry Mead, and I was able to call him Tom. And I said, you're going to be on the podium in Tokyo. He is the most gorgeous Jaguar male horse, and he has extra articulating. He's up Salon, who won here, of course, many moons ago, with more blood. And I just love Vasily de Lassos and Andrew Hoy. What an amazing man, and 8-time Olympian, and one of the best horses for me, was the highest rated horse I have. In cracking form, second in the Aka Nations Cup last year, and of course individual bronze in Tokyo.
Yeah, no, he's a super horse. And again, looking at some other horses which caught my eye, so last season again, just a 9-year-old would be Chile's Midnight Star for Janelle Price from New Zealand. Again, a very nice horse, dressage score of 26.1. And again, you look at Alex Hattian's Chico. This is a horse which has big shoes to fill. His good horse, the Mighty Don, has retired now. So Team China will be looking for Chico to step up and really chase that qualifying point.
Leading after first phase individually. And for Team Australia, Sheena Lowings, yes, Bold Venture. 1 time with 4-star short last year, 1 Berry 4-star long. And from a big field of 41 on a 25.3 score, they brought that foreign form right up into Ireland. Isn't it fantastic? Won the Adelaide 4-star short in April, where Dottie and Shane Rose was 4th. So cracking form here, the best of Southern Hemisphere form coming up and leading here, holding that form.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to speak to Alexander's Petronel's wife earlier as well, and they're very excited to be over. And Team South Africa, they are really trying to chase qualification. But Alexander, just on an 8-year-old, and look, they've been doing well over in the UK where they're based, and they've come over here now to really sort of put it up to them as best they can for the team.
Yes, we saw a very good Japanese showing there. Vinci Della Veen in the 4-star long there this morning, and a cracking team here as again. Yoshi Iiwa over from the continent as well. On a sub-30 as always for him. No fear JRA on a 28.5. Part of Team Japan. Yes, it's going to be very tight between Australia and Japan for sure. Tashi Tanaka and Talma Dalu on that team. Raiza Kadijima and Frozen Neemwood, top form horse again in 3rd spot. Cracking day ahead of us here, cracking afternoon. Counting down, 4 minutes. Counting down, counting down. Yes, a time of 8:32 for this 3-star long. And the green light comes on. There's actually a set of traffic lights, if you see it down, they are actually live traffic lights down at the start box. And the control for that red light is right up here in control. Carol and her team here watching it all, everything that happens, communications with every end of the track. And that light, just at a flick of a switch, goes to red. It'd be lovely if you're on O'Connell Street, Dublin, and just be able to click that switch and turn your lights to green, wouldn't it? And I'm sure we should try it, actually. But anyway, Flandia going to be the first out for China. China, great to have China here. Yes, Yingfeng Bo on this Flandia, 4th in the Showman of X in 3-star short last year. Top 12 Montreux Brady 4-star short last time out. That's this year in March. And China's putting a nice team together, they are.
Yeah, they are indeed. And look at Alex Etienne's been a great advocate for China over the years, and he's really pushed hard, doing a lot of work back in China, traveling back and forth from the UK a lot, just to really try and get more funding behind them and get the Chinese riders up to a certain level, getting them over to the UK, different countries for training. And it's really proof is in the pudding. The Chinese team are really showing what they're made of now. And again, like you were saying, Yingfeng Bao, he was 4th there at a 4-star long, or 12th in a 4-star long recently in Italy. He was in Tokyo, so he'll be coming here on Flandia too to really sort of put pressure on New Zealand to try and get that qualified.
It's about horsepower, that's the honesty of it all. And they have a smart horse in Lady Chin, then Mervyn Zed. 1 Oot Sparkle 2-star long last year, 4th Strigon 3-star short, and an excellent 5th in the Montreux Brady 4-star long in March. That is very good international form. So they're in the wings, and I was speaking to Jack Huang from FEI here for the Australasian, and I said, you know, in a racehorse, if there was 3 runners, back the outsider of 3, and it comes up more often than it should. So the outsider of 3 could well be China here, and no doubt in the driving seat they're coming in is where you want to be in Australia, in that driving seat. We have Shane, our own Sean, Larry going to help us call through the Australians. He knows them and he has all the info on them, and he's going to step in for the Australian team members, which is fantastic.
I know, it's great, and from talking to Sean earlier, there's such power and pride in this Australian team, and everyone's here for a reason, and we believe this team has what it takes, to win here this weekend, but also to get to the Olympics and get for a podium finish. Like you said, Andrew was, what, bronze Tokyo.
So the last of, I just love that horse, and I was able to chat with him after it, and he said, you know, that's what gets me out of bed every morning, this horse. And that horse-human partnership, we talked about it on and off during the day and yesterday as well. It is such a special link, you know, for the experience of going cross-country at this level. Horse and rider got to be thinking together and accepting each other and loving each other of the communication.
It is, but it's also the whole team behind the scenes who we don't see on event days, and it's not just the groom that's here this weekend, the rider, whoever else is here, it's everyone at home keeping all the young horses coming through, and you know, down to the guys who look after the feed and the farrier as well. And with Andrew being based in the UK, they have the best facilities available to them. So we are 5 seconds away.
Okay.
And we are away.
Let the show begin. The games begin. And it is about the games. It is about the Olympic Games. This is high stakes. This is really high stakes. And Flandia, have a great one for China. Yes, Flandia 2, 4th showman of X in the 3-star last year. And a very good showing in Montreux Brady 4-star in March this year. He's up and running our first horse in this 3-star Long Nations Cup for China, Flandia 2. 17-year-old by Fitter Ants. There's real dressage breeding in that horse as well. Yeah. And he showed a nice, impressive test for the judges as well, to go top 10 on a 29.1.
Yeah, so Yingfeng Bao will be looking to sort of set the mark for the rest of his teammates as well and report back when he gets home. So they have a bit of time before the next rider. So Yingfeng will be looking to tell the rest of his team what the course is like. So we pick him up now on the live stream here, which has been fantastic.
I'm thinking of Mrs. Wu Yungjing and Mr. Wu Zhao are the owners. I hope you're here and enjoying this. And to the first complex, which will be the Horseboard Island Water, coming up very soon at 5A, 5B. just a little bit deliberate going in. He's okay, he's finding his balance in the water, nice and easy. Offset house coming out, takes that nicely in stride. Beautiful. And I like the way he gallops away. He's going to have a cut here.
Yeah,
you know, early days, moving away from his fence smartly.
Yeah, he lands galloping, as you'd say, and coming up to the road crossing now, and you know, horse ears pricked, looking where he needs to go. So he's going to come flying up in front of us here at control, and before they come to the first test.
Yes, a good test it is too. Gravity takes over here over the bird's nest, and 5 strides or a very forward 4 is it to the brush.
Yeah, seeing from last class, a few were coming down in 4, and then when so we're just being corrected. 2 horses in, 4 strides coming down. So that just shows how much confidence you have in your horse and belief in yourself as a rider to think this needs to go well, because if it doesn't, it's a very costly 20. But Ying Feng coming up now to the bird's nest at 7.
Yes, and he doesn't know quite how this is going to ride. He's seen them and heard the other reports from the 3-star, and it's all about him now. Horse locks onto those flags nicely. That's the easy bit, and now the B part coming up. A little wobble behind quarters, but straightened up nicely for it. Ears up and said, that was easy.
Yeah.
Yes, and he says, welcome to 3-star Millstreet.
That here, but when you, because when you're actually walking it, it's only when you get to the front of the fence you see part B. So the riders really have to be guiding their horses when they're in midair to say, right, Chilty had a little bit to the right, aim for the flags, and he did that absolutely spot on.
Yeah, nice start made. Yes, the first real serious question answered. Yes, and onto the Brogan's Brush Corners after the Normandy Banks. There's a nice crossing there as well. Step up in a 1-strider, isn't it? And nicely offset house, little house that caused no issues at all. Brush Corners at Brogan's at 9A and B.
Yeah, but it's a lovely designed fence as well, where they can jump up and they're out into a whole new field. So it's a lovely way to enter the field. So we pick up on him now as he comes to the 4 and equine fort.
Great footage coming in from Swakoni live stream, isn't it? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Showing off Ireland at his best. Yes, to the ring fort.
So he's just sitting up. Say, right, come on, let's have a little bit of a conversation here. As he gets to that combination of brush corners, a little bit hairy over the second part, but gets through it now and may have taken a flag.
I like the action on him though. Very smart horse to move again. Very engaged behind, and he's nice and active with that inside hind leg again on the turn. So we should have no issue here coming through the ring fort.
Yeah, real light, fine blood type of horse, and like you said, with that little bit of dressage breeding in him as well, gives him that nice elevation. And look at that. Horse's expression is lovely, Chris. He has his ears pricked. He's looking where he's going. He's
it all looks easy,
question.
doesn't it? All looks easy.
Yeah.
And but I'm going back to your dressage blood again, and Sir Donoghue. Whoever thought he could throw a real good jumping horse as well? And we've seen many a good eventer by Sir Donoghue. Filarance the same. Yes. Got a little bit deep to the table, had to climb a little bit, but he makes it okay.
He did indeed. So we welcome our next starter. Is number 352 on your start list, and it is for Japan. We welcome Yuzo Kitayama, and he rides Ferronza New Mode. It's a 13-year-old bay gelding by Qualifier Elvis. And they'll be looking to really put a mark on it, joining us on a score 26.2.
1.3 of the leading score. That's how close he is. There is nothing in this. There will be a short head in racing terms and a smashing horse here. A difficult position he was in Tokyo. He was substitute. He was a team substitute. It's an awful position, isn't it? And
you're but you're not competing.
Exactly. But he was there in the wings in case he was needed. 26th the Blenheim 4-star long day 21. 15th Po 5-star last year. That's a brilliant result. And 4th in the Little Downham to Brook Park Vicenti and to Capo on the Japan team here. 8th Chatsworth Nations Cup in May. This horse is a very good one. Have a good one, yes, and rightly placed. Ryozo Kadijima and Frozen Newwood to 5.
So again, being on the cup team there at Chatsworth, but also finishing 8th individually. So they come here in good form and plenty of confidence.
And 50 runners in that Chatsworth Nations Cup, and he's right up there.
Oh, he's having to work there a little bit, our first rider.
Yes, Ying Feng Bio.
And Fing Yang, but
over the cottages.
And now we welcome, picking up our rider for Japan, flying over the first 5 and 6 fences. So he'll be coming up into our sights in real life very soon.
Great footage coming in from our live stream screens, and we're waiting to watch Frozen Newwood climbing up Finn's Hollow hill and onto this lovely bird's nest 4 or 5 strides. Choice is yours there to make. Rider and horse going to make that choice very soon there now as they come into the Part A.
Four. 5 strides on the downhill, very nicely done there by Russo.
Well over that combination, well answered as well. Nice and fluent he went. And then down to the road crossing. Yingfeng Biao.
So yeah,
To the Irish Bank in China. Not too many Irish banks in China. And maybe Hong Kong banks, I'd say, but not Irish. And we shall see. Yes, nicely on. Nicely off. That's beautiful and fluent. Super.
Super. Stride and a half on the top. A little skip for the second stride before he pops off. Very fluent. Now he comes down to the Wellens water. And again, just a nice big ball top jump in. Still very brave jumping. The horse's expression is perfect. And this combination are really showing us what this course is made of, and they're actually making it look rather simple, which I'm sure Michael E.S. doesn't want us to be saying across the airwaves, but this combination are flying.
Most of these are actually 4-star horses going back to 3-star, so they are coming back a level. And but what an opportunity to get a qualification for your country. And that's why we've got such great teams here, no doubt. And to the Evening Island Park question and through for Yingfeng Biao.
A little bit close. He has to really sit up and push for that one stride, and yeah, really that extra long stride there from Part B to Part C, but gets over nicely. Like you said earlier, Chris, from coming out the first water, he's landing galloping as he makes his way down towards the last end of the course.
If he can save a second on each fence, yes, that'll be a half a minute, and it'll be grand. And to the Foreign Equine. Ring forward from Fjords of Newwood and nicely through.
Yeah, Russo giving the horse plenty of confidence going through, so just coming down now to the last water.
The Riding Club Crane owned this horse. I wish I was part of that Riding Club Crane. I wouldn't mind owning part of this horse. Yes, a very smart one he is too.
Flying. Flandier too, making his way down towards the last couple of fences. And as we welcome, I'm going to welcome Sean back in now for our rider for Australia.
Yes, Vasily, the last horse, Andrew Hoy, one of the
Fantastic,
greats.
Tom, thank you.
One of the greats, 8-time Olympian. How many medals has he won? 3 gold medals, Sydney, Atlanta, Barcelona, bronze individual at Tokyo, and he's not done yet.
He's not done yet, Chris, you're right, and he firmly believes that the best is yet to come on this horse, and after seeing his dressage, you know, he's a perfectionist, Andrew, and that's what's got him this far. He's really driven, and as you said, eight Olympics, and if it wasn't for a little bit of bad luck with one horse injuring himself, he could well have been on 9, and of course the great Ian Miller, Canadian rider, I believe he holds the record of 10, so maybe Andrew's chasing something there.
A big one too. I love this horse.
Oh, he's an absolute athlete. Chris, have you seen him in the flesh?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Upsilon with more blood, that's what he is. He's got extra articulation in every joint, in every part of his body. He is absolute athlete. And we're going to see more of him on the live stream. We have out there, yes, Frozen Newwood going nicely. What kind of form is Vasily de Lassos in? Yes, second Akan Nations Cup last year, second Marbach 4-star short, after that lovely individual bronze at Tokyo.
Andrew certainly doesn't overrun this horse. He realises the future combination here. And of course, it's just he's just taken on new owners. Linda Mars has just purchased the horse as the new owner from the Evans family, and I know Andrew's always been very thankful for the Evans support, but it just passed on to Linda Mars.
Well done. Well, thank you, Linda Mars, because without you...
I hope she's listening or watching, and a big call out to her. But meanwhile, on our camera there, Chris, 3:52.
Yeah, going very nicely, Frozen Newwood. Ryuza Katajima on the lovely Frozen Newwood. On the way down, that into space. It's a beautiful shot, isn't it?
A lovely pat on the neck there. You just love seeing that. Meanwhile, Vasily, the machine, he goes up over the hill. We're watching him live, that big white face. He's coming up over the bird's nest. I'm guessing there's 4 here.
Little wobble there on the line.
A little wobble, he just jumped so big. He just jumped over so big at the bird's nest.
With the balance he's got, you can regain your balance just at a flick of a switch with him, can't you? Unbelievable.
Off the bank
horse.
there.
Yeah.
Plenty of dust. What's dust doing in Ireland, Chris? Where's that come from?
Yeah.
Oh, don't blame us.
Memory coming back, Moonfleet winning badminton, the Strong Gale thoroughbred horse of Coolmores, wasn't it? And that was his first badminton win, wasn't it, Andrews? Way back.
Ryuzo coming down through the splash past the kiln. He'll be coming past us very shortly.
Time coming in for Flanders, for Team China. Team China, yes, clear across the country as we know. 11.6 time penalties, 9:01 your recorded time, 40.7 our provisional total for Yingfeng Biao. Great start for Team China. Team China only 10 points, 11 points off of the mark, you know.
It's very close, Chris. We may be in front at the moment after dressage, but it's very, very close indeed. A little bit of time, a little bit of unfortunate incidents out in the course, and anything could happen.
2.6 is all you have in
Don't remind me, Chris. Don't remind me.
Yes, I love it. Yes, come on, Team Australia. Come on, Team Japan, and we have.
Yes, we wish them all the best, Chris. You know, the best team on the day, and that's how it goes.
Absolutely, Jaguar Mail. I love the side of Vasily the last sauce. He's 82% thoroughbred blood himself, Jaguar Mail. What a
Here he
horse.
comes. Oyuki down through the last water there for Japan.
He's done that very nicely. He's got
Very comfortable.
He's just coasting home.
Vasily going along nicely up at the Normandy bank, step up the house, and running on now to the fort. We should see a bit of footage of, there he comes, striking big chestnut.
He's got huge
Up
presence
into the-
to him, isn't he? Isn't he? Ears up.
Lovely
Vasily.
jump.
He's playing with this.
Hold. Look at that. Beautiful control there by Andrew.
It's the balance, isn't it?
He's very smooth, and this combination are really special to watch. Unfortunate, just that unfortunate run out at Bretoni at the World Championships at the bottom of that enormous slide down the hill, and I think that was the combination's first jumping error in international competition together. Yep.
Ever. And I take it off his card because it didn't belong there.
He's going along now over the hedges.
Neatly done. Offset says who. It's easy for him. A good one. Home is Firoz and Newman. Loved you around here as a kid of G before. And Team Japan. Nicely there. Very well there on 26.2. Team Japan only 2.6 off the lead of Australia. Now for South Africa out on track. Yes, one of our own resident here. One by Peaches and Cream, and for Margaret Hines, Storm O'Connor. Great Storm O'Connor, proudly carrying that South African flag. Bonner by Peaches and Cream. 13-year-old by Margaret Hines is lovely stallion. Bonner by Freeman. And Conor Connolly owning and riding. Yes, owner and breeding. 44.1 their mark for Storm. They're out on track to the Horseboat Island water.
Yeah, great start for Japan to get their rider home. Well done to them. And of course, this is the first of the South African riders.
We know Bonner by Peaches and Cream well here, very well here. Conor Lee brought him up to metre 15 there last year.
Back to Andrew and Vasily, nicely through the lime kiln and popped over that the little skinny very comfortably. We can hear the whistle from here. We can see him coming through, and just have a look at this galloping machine in Vasily de Lassos and Andrew Hoy, 8 times representative medalist at all levels in competition for Australia, and certainly the superstar in Australian venting. And great to see a lot of people out here and just watch a master at work. I hope I don't put too much of the commentator's curse on him, but he is just poetry in motion as they come up to the Irish bank.
Yeah, I want to watch him here. He won't have seen this before. Vasily de Lassos to the bank. Oh, bounces his way across it beautifully. That's as fluent as it goes, isn't it? He could not have gone that any faster and direct. It's a beautiful shot there to the Wallace water.
He never looks like he's running along hard, Chris. He never looks like he's pushed along. But he has such a beautiful long ground covering stride that Andrew just trusts the fact that he covers the time, and he rarely ever has to chase this horse along.
Talk about time. What a time here for our Feroza Newman. For Riding Club Crane, 3.2 time penalties only to add. Still on a sub-30 is Frozen Newman, 29.4 their provisional score for Team Japan.
Into the corner, the park question for Vasily de Lassos. Andrew Hoy, Australia's leading rider, and our first man out. Oh, got a little bit awkward there. Vasily wasn't quite sure. Do I take it? Do I bounce it?
Did he bounce
I put
it?
a stride? No, he didn't.
I think he bounced.
He was close.
You know what? Our controllers think we're getting excited. You see a horse like this. If this horse doesn't excite you, perhaps we should be doing something else.
That's right.
This is something.
Should be taking up knitting, maybe. Although I believe knitting's very exciting at the right time of the day. But Vasily into the Shamrock.
Come on, Bessie.
He's our lead man, Chris. We need him, and we know he can be he's our most experienced rider and our lead man, and we know that he'll set the tone for the team. He'll take back information to the team, and it'll be a great lead-off man is Andrew Hoy and Vasily de la Sos.
A great man himself, isn't he?
He is a great man.
Oh, shoot you.
The whole
Now,
family's here.
Storm going very nicely, peaches and cream, and Storm is competitive in every bone of her body. She loves to kick and run. Storm O'Connor for Team South Africa, bound by peaches and cream. New starter coming out on track is Summer Stardust. Another Clover Brigade here for Noor Slough, and has just started. Ona Christone owns this, and led by Stephanie Heffernan in this 3-star long Nations Cup. Have a good one. And they come out in a score of 35.1.
Nice to have a chat, Chris, and I'll hand you back to Tom, and we'll see if the next Australian horse.
Sean, why are you shaking? Is that Team Australia? There's a lot. These stakes are very high, and I don't blame you at all. What a round from Vasily Lasso. We get you a time, lovely clear jumping round. We're going to get a time as soon as it shows. We got Summer Stardust to call for Noor Slough. Yes, ex-Gemma Tattersall, this horse here, ran here with Gemma in the 2-star back in 2019, so knows his way around here. Top 20, Aston Lawal's last time out. First 3-star with Noor Slough, have a good one, and he's away and going. Storm O'Connor on the live stream showing up very nicely. And now this lovely Clover Brigade, Noor Slough out on track to the Horseboard Island water. One stop at 13B. Unfortunately, Trishan Castle Lawn brush there for Bonabite Peaches and Cream. Shows a little bit of greenness there. Going to pick up 20.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. But then Summer Stardust and Noor Slough absolutely flying. And Sluey, should I say, and on us just had a score 35.1, but I believe we have a score for Sir Andrew Hoy.
Yes, Vasily de la Sos, 8:29. My goodness, cross country, nothing to add. They go out on their dressage score 28.7. Team Australia hits the front of the leaderboard with their first man home.
That's fantastic, and it shows so much commitment for Sean, even coming the whole way following this Australian team to make sure they get to Paris. So well done to Andrew Hoy and the whole team behind, and Vasily de la Sos, and like with Andrew being based in the UK, I wasn't far from them. And the commitment, the attention to detail they do at home is just phenomenal.
Yeah, but again, it's about horsepower as well, isn't it? And a horse like that, they are very special, very, very special people. Those that Vasily de la Sos, loved them, every bit of them. Now, what about this Clover Brigade? Summer Stardust, Clover Brigade, the sire of Grandson Jackson, showing up very nicely.
Oh, wow.
We're going to see him in the 4-star with Sarah Ennis tomorrow. And by the same sire, this Summer Stardust heading to the road crossing.
Yeah, came down there on 4 strides at the Flynn's Bird's Nest, and she was committed, coming to it straight away. So well done to Noor, and owner Chris Stone will be very happy to see that. And breeder Stephanie Heffernan, I hope is here this weekend. And if you are, you've got a lovely horse here in Summer Stardust, this lovely Irish sport horse. So for Morocco, they'll be really hoping to potentially get that qualification if they allow individual riders into the Olympics.
Bonnerboy Peaches and Cream to the Wallace Water, dropping in, yes, and the evening on a partial question at the top of the hill for Storm. One rocky moment and back on an even keel there now, always competitive. An extra stride just shuffles into the butt of the sea part. He's okay, absolutely fine, and down the hill they go. What's waiting at the bottom? Millstreet Train at 21.
Yeah, they were unfortunate early on to pick up that 20, but they'll be looking just to get home and keep going. So what do we see there? 3.55. Summer Stardust and Noor just seem to have a little bit of a mishap there. So just at 9A sadly there for Summer Stardust and Noor Slough, just at 20 penalties at 9A. What should we?
Yeah, unfortunately picking up 20 there, the brush corners.
So she's.
And retires at 9B, not their day. And when it's not your day, the best thing to do is to call time, and wisely calling time is Noor Slough.
Very unfortunate there, but we move on now to our next starter, 356 on your start list. This is a 9-year-old Bay Gelding, Sparky Lad. This is by Smart Missile, and it's written by Clark Johnson. And they're really looking to improve now. Well, they're on a score of 31.2, clear over fence 1 for New Zealand. the whole New Zealand team here will be egging Clark Johnson on, just to see how they get on and to report back to the rest of the team.
Yeah, quite green at the division here. Top 20 finishes the intermediate, Tweezledown and Aston Lawals, but first time out at 3-star international. So a bit of a hell of a jockey, Clark Johnson. Yes, if anybody can help this horse through, it'll be Clark, this 9-year-old. Sparky lad to the Jewelhound Kennels at 2. At the last, Will and Storm O'Connor, just that one hiccup there, 13B, and they've completed a fine round on the Barnaby Freeman bred Barnaby Peaches and Cream.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, like you said, Chris, Clark has the experience to give this, just a novice horse at this level, a good educational spin round, and so far so good as they make their way through the first water. Horse Sport Ireland, Shamrock Water, a big drop log in, and then the barn on the way out. But they do that very nicely as they gallop up the hill towards the road crossing. I don't know if it's a small horse or a tall rider, but they're flying up the hill in that nice forward seat. That cross-country gallop is really starting to open up now as they come up towards fence 6, Pat Lyons Electrical Hayrack. Yeah, so flying over the Hayrack at 6, making their way past us here at control, and they'll be swinging right-handed up the hill before they approach the first big ass, the combination at 7.
Provisional score for Barnaby Peaches and Cream. Yes, provisional score 75.3. Had that stop and also 11.2 of time. So just one horse on the track, Sparky Lad. Yes, and he's going to get a great steer here from Clark Johnson. Young at the grade here, so we see how he comes up with this very, very strong combination. Going the black flag, as he is entitled to do. And it's going to add a nice bit of time to it. It's the safer option for a horse upgrading.
Yeah, I think, again, if you jump part A and you just feel as though you're landing a little bit wobbly, it's a snap decision to go along, or he may have made it, he may have preempted it before.
And these young horses haven't learned to rate their jump a little bit as well, and they're big and bold and brave as they should be.
Yeah.
And a good call from Clark, and the horse is still on an even keel to the avenue crossing.
Yeah,
nice
again,
up, one stride over the narrow house. Yeah. And another question always comes up pretty quick here. This Brogan's Brush corners, yeah, they're influential corners as well. They're very technical on the 3 strides. And coming in there now, this youngster at the grade, Clark Johnson, would love to be called a youngster now, but it's smart missile bred Sparky lad we're talking about. Smart missile sounds thoroughbred.
Yeah, it does to me now. I wouldn't know a lot about them now, but the way he's galloping, the way he's moving and jumping, it's plenty of blood there. A real fine horse with that medium bone. But just going back to what you're saying about, say, the skinny brushes and horses learning to regulate themselves, they really have to, like you said, learn to balance themselves. And I think what Clark did was probably the right thing to do for a horse at this level. And I don't think time's going to be an issue because he's still motoring now and jumps very nicely through that Brogan's Bush corners at 9A and B, making their way to the 4 neckline, 4th at 10.
But it is absolutely the sword. You're talking about a horse hacking home there, as he should do as well. If it's not your day, it's not your day. And Slough's done exactly the right thing there. And that walking home, there'll be another day. Nice pat down the neck for Sparky Lad. Answered the calls there very nicely through the far neckline, Castle to Skinny Flower Tray. Next out on track, second rider for Team China. Luigi Liang on Kiranchi. Kiranchi's KWP, an 8-year-old, just an 8-year-old mare this, by Harley VDL. Great jumping horse out of a nameless R. Great jumping blood on the top and bottom line of Kiranchi. 4th Monte Libretti 3-star long last year and won the Munster 2-star short in May with Rensk Kruzia. So back with Luigi here, and we have a good one. They're out to the Jewelhound Kennel at 2.
Yeah, so again, rider number 2 for China. He'll be looking, I'm sure he had a quick chat with Ying Fen after his lovely clear round early on in the course, our first rider.
He should have had a chat with Andrew Hoy.
Well,
yes.
Sharing tactics, I don't know about that now.
Andrew Hoy will just smile, won't he? And said,
figure it out for yourself.
Work it out, son. I've been here a long time. And
he sure has.
But they're a great community, and we do a talk, of course we do, and admire each other's achievements. And Karanchi's going to achieve plenty, no doubt, here to the Horseboat Island water. Good to see Dennis Duggan here for Horseboat Island here. He's enjoying Millstreet big time.
Oh, you have to be on a day like today and in a surroundings like Millstreet here at Shane Castle. I think everyone here is enjoying themselves. So
the Connie Red Mills, I'm Kill, comes Sparky Lad and Clark Johnson.
So clear at 6 is our latest starter. Is Ruji Lang for China and Karanche, and they're flying over fence 6. Just an 8-year-old mare, like Chris was saying. Just a very young horse at this level. But they're coming now to the first proper test of Flynn's Bird's Nest at 7A and B. So we've seen horses come down in 4. Great big jump in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, just sadly coming down and edging out to the left of Part B.
They go back for the black flag one day, they can still do that.
And quick, and you can see him, he's like, right, I need to make up some time now and hit that black flag option. The black flag option, to those who don't know what we're talking about, it's if you feel as though you're not going to make the direct route from A to B, you have another option, which usually jumps very nicely. So he'll have to make up a little bit of time now as we pick up with Clark Johnson.
Over the bank, clear of the bank. A little look coming off the bank as he's entitled to do, this youngster, and fresh on the grade, and it opens his eyes up now through this Wallace water.
You never know what's going to jump out from behind the bank, like out hunting. You never know what's on the other side, so keep looking, keep kicking as he comes to the part question at 20.
Yeah, I do.
So Sparky Lad, yes, onto the Millstreet train at 21. Karanchi picked up that 20 early doors, and heads across the road. They normally bank crossing there, 8A and B, 9A and B. Big brush corners, quite tight when you've had to run out of the technical fence, is skinny here, onto another technical fence, a double of corners.
Confidence going.
So Karanchi hopefully can just get a nice ride through that.
Yeah. So Clark Johnson coming down to the last water. It is a Horse Sport Ireland Shamrock Water, so a little bit of a hesitation going in as though he just dropped the back end, but pops out over the lovely carved swan for Part B as he makes his way down towards the last couple of fences towards home.
The Swans made news last year. Do you remember there was a family of Swans and Cygnets, and we had to stop the competition to allow them to cross the track.
Yeah, even the dog tried to help us move them as well, so we had to call that up as well. But luckily now they're all tied down. They're looking beautiful and peaceful there on the lake in front of us. So our next starter is away. The flag is down, and it is Toshiki Tanaka for Japan.
Toshi will do fine.
Toshi will do.
He's a great fella. And Talmud Liu, he's a smashing horse. He's won Baraka for Western Short 2020. Ran very nicely as an individual in the Tokyo Olympics, 37 individually. Ace Ballandowns 4-star long last April to Shirley Templis and Brooke Park Vicenti. And they're both on the team here, fantastic. So London and Tokyo Olympian Toshi Tanaka making a good start here. A sub-30, love these sub-30s, you know. Sub-30 test they did on it, 29 they are. Clashing on Talmud Dalou, Self-Francais.
Yeah, for sure. And this lovely Self-Francais horse by Optimum de Talma. And they'll be looking, just had a little bit of a slump in the water when he landed there, Chris. But again, Toshi corrected him nicely, didn't tell him off, just let him gather himself as he approaches Part B, jumping out of the water. But you can see Toshi's like, right, come on, we've a job to do here. And says, right, come on, get galloping.
Yes, it's go time. It is for sure. And gets a. That's a lovely cut through the double of corners, isn't it?
Lang, I believe.
For Karanche. And up to the Drishon lawn, onto the double of cottages for they.
Yeah, Toshi, great big jump over the Pat Lynch electrical hay rack at 6. Galloping in front of us now. This lovely big 16-year-old horse with plenty of experience, as Chris was saying earlier. So this horse knows his job, and we'll be looking now to come down over the first combination of Flynn's Bird's Nest at 7.
Time comes in for Sparky Lad, just for Clark Johnson, 8:51 that recorded time, add 7.6 to give them a score of a 38.8 for Team New Zealand.
So now coming to the Flynn's Bird's Nest.
Tamadaloo, important for Team Japan here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful strides, lovely measured. straight as a die. Toshi didn't move when he landed. He kept his body lovely and upright, gave the horse his head, real soft hands, as we say in the industry, and he ran down the hill to Part B very nicely. So he'll be making his way to the road crossing to step up to the cottage. Over that very smartly.
Karachi through the Connolly Red Mills line very sweetly, yes, and this lovely Donna Hideki Motors shelter into space there alongside of control here now. Next for Karachi, this lovely 8-year-old mare, Harley mare, Rouge Liang.
Oh, where is
into the air they go. It is spectacular jumping, isn't it? They're in the air a long time and they just get the landing gear out, lands balanced.
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's a lovely big ski fence as we call it, and even when you're walking the course you think the horse is going to land about 2-3 meters afterwards, but I think they land about 5 meters outside. Absolutely flying. The ground, you know, accepting the horses as they land. As he comes to the Irish Bank now, just sits up nice and smart. Oh, just has a little look on top. He's not liking the look of the second part of the Irish Bank. And it looks as though there's a dragon down there looking at him, but he's going to reapproach. Sadly there for the Harley VDL Bright. He's down, well ridden. Oh, gets a bit close to Part B, but does get down there for Rouge Lang.
As he was coming down the hill, like if you're going downhill, you're actually meant to lean back slightly. Yeah, 5 straight.
18B, yes, a stop unfortunately for Karachi, just an 8-year-old mare learning the trade.
Because when they're going downhill, they need their head. So you can't hold them back.
So much, that stakes are so high here. Olympic qualification doesn't get any higher.
Toshi is at the 4 neckline fort, clear over that.
An unfortunate stop at 8B for Team Japan. It's very unlike Talma Delu, but Toshi Tanaka. Unfortunately, one stop at 8B. Yes, Japan have got to regain those points.
Yeah, so Chris, for the rest of it, I'm going to hand over to Sean now as we welcome our next rider for Australia.
Thank you very much, Tom. Very exciting time. We've got a fair bit happening out there, Chris. We were lucky, well not lucky, just a beautifully ridden round by Andrew, our lead-off rider this afternoon, and certainly gives the rest of our riders a bit of confidence. And that rider next out being Shane Rose.
Yes, Shane Rose has started, and Dottie, yes, individual 10th in the team, and Team Silver Tokyo with the great Virgil. I mean, I love Virgil. By Van Heffenink, and what a horse. He won Adelaide 5-star just the other day, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He's certainly in form, and we like to think we've got our A-team here at Millstreet. And Shane, of course, 50-year-old and 3 Olympics under his belt. And Bimbadeen, their property, down there in New South Wales, and a very popular combination, Shane and Nikki. So we wish this next combination all the best.
Dottie finished 4th in the Adelaide 4-star short last month to Bull Venture and Shane Lowings, which is fantastic. Their form is very tight and it's very good.
Yes, very good, and it's great that Shane has taken Shanae under his wing, and she's learning a lot there, and obviously it's rubbing off because she's leading the dressage, a local West Australian girl. But more importantly, let's call the horses out there at the moment. Shane heading up the hill.
Yes, this Bird's Nest on the 5 stride, or 4 stride if you wanted there to the B part.
A chestnut mare, only 9 years of age, so relatively young in her career. What will Shane do? Big jump in, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 5. Beautifully done, Shane, as he kicks on. Go Dottie. He was just checking something there, a bit of gear, or he maybe just gave her an extra pat on the neck.
Yes, she's on that, very much on that. Well done, Dottie, excellent. And already an international winner down in Sydney 3 long. And so Dottie going nicely here.
Yeah, nicely up over the little crossing, the little Normandy bank, kicking on their way.
Waiting for
Toshiyuki. We should be seeing him carrying
Tom Adelu, we're looking at him at the Irish Bank, nicely up in the bank. Little look off.
Another little hesitation.
A launch off of it, then again to the Wallace Water. They go for Riding Club Crane for Tom Adelu.
Yeah, coming down to the Wallace Water. Just the roll top in. Plenty of encouragement there. They splash through. They come up the hill. One more pull up the hill in this beautiful, fine, sunny weather here in Ireland for this Nations Cup, a very critical Nations Cup for all the countries involved.
The stakes are high, aren't they? Very high.
Sorry, the Olympic qualifier, of course, but just a technical one there. But we know our teams, what we're chasing, and it's big stakes indeed.
It is too, and it's advantage Australia at the moment. Very unlikely, 20 penalties picked up by Talma Dalu.
Lovely for Shane and Dottie coming down through the 4 in equine fort. Clear through A, B.
Karanche picked up those 2 penalties along the way. Yes, 40 penalties there, 10.16 on time, and so that recorded time 114.8 provisional total for Karanche for Team China.
Toshiyuki very careful through the last Shamrock water. Just heading over the big oxer now, the Barry's Tea. Big thanks to Frankie in the hospitality tent next to us. She's going super there. I think she's nearly run out of Barry's Tea.
Have you been drinking Barry's Tea? It is the best.
She's been a very busy girl.
Figaro Priest is coming out on track, an important round here for Figaro. Yes, for Team South Africa. Alexander Petronel coming out on track. On this 8-year-old, Quidem de Ravel 8-year-old, 36.7 their mark. Ran the first 4-star in Burnham Market there back in April. And never a cross-country forward recorded. So won't change them yet. Figaro has a faultless record.
Dottie down in the back section of the course, right down near the Deshane Castle. They're in camera at the moment, 360, our new person out on the course. Alexander Petronel. First little look at water. Cautious drop in. Lovely balance canter through. And safely out over the other side. Meanwhile, Shane and Dottie going on their way, coming through the cottage area, the double cottages. And it won't be far before we see them heading downhill. 3.59, Shane Rose, Dottie, down at the beautiful lime kiln. Oh, had a little look at that water. Maybe the dirt in
the cascading water.
The cascade, it's a lot to take in.
What's going on here, boss?
And you want me to jump?
Yes, she's great. And kept the line. She's very athletic. We saw her there at 8. We're seeing it again through the Conley Red Mills.
Here she comes across past us. We'll get a bit of an idea of how we think she looks. Her ears are pricked. She looks sharp. Lovely big bold jump. Shane.
Into space is spectacular.
Spectacular, aren't they? It looks like possibly a wardrobe malfunction, possibly a chap. He's lost a zip on that left leg. Something's flapping. All we can suggest that it is, and I hope it doesn't distract Dottie. Safely up okay, out okay. Big swish of the tail for the chestnut mare. There's a bit of a saying with chestnut mares. Keep away from them, but Dottie's going okay.
If you had half your boots hanging out of you, flicking her on her side,
that's right.
A tail as well, I think. And no, well through there, very nicely through. Score coming in for Talma Dalu, that expensive 20 there, very expensive 20 for Team Japan. Yes, 9.06 the time recorded, 13.6 time penalties.
Shane Rose and Dottie, it's definitely his legging. It's very loose on his left leg. I hope everything holds together there and Dottie doesn't get too distracted as they come into the very pivotal Horseport Island. Question on the top of the hill. Oh, beautifully through. She's focused. I think Shane's more worried about the legging than she is.
Ears are up, always a good sign. She says, what's
galloping on beautifully.
Millstreet
great to see.
Next, and that last water, the last of the 3 waters, figure out for me is going nicely. The Quidem de Ravel, while Alexander Petronel for Team South Africa. There as far as the Brogans. First corners at 9.
For all the people listening home in Australia, watching the live stream, Dottie clear over the train into the Shamrock water. Lovely splash through there. Shane with his legging is on the left-hand side. You can see it flapping there in the live stream. It's still holding on, but Dottie doesn't seem to be worrying too much about it. Very focused over the Barry's Tea Oxer. Getting close to the finish line. Can Australia have 2 horses home?
The equine warehouse, yes, the last combination awaits, yes, the Gypsy Wagons, a lovely, lovely combination to finish over, and the Clara Finale for Team Australia. It's advantage Team Australia at the moment, and a very good round nearing completion.
Up over the fort there for Alexander. Looks good. They came out over the dome. 3.5 home should be just 3.59 should be just about home for Shane Rose, and I'll hand the baton back and speak to you soon, Chris. Thank you very much. Well done to Shane. I'll keep going.
Lucky Jojo coming out on track for Team New Zealand. Nick Brooks on board here on this Dilshan. Dilshan, a very, very good racehorse there of the Aga Khans. Son of the Derby winning Shirley Heights. Fourth Bicton 2 stars short, and first international 4-star last year. First time out at a 3-star is Lucky Jojo.
I'll just have to let you know, everyone out there, Shane Rose home, 0 time penalties, 2 home, 2 zeros. Well done, Aussies.
Wow. They came in, nothing to add with their first 2 team members. Advantage Australia, big time.
Yeah, fantastic performance for Team Australia for the moment. So Sean's going to be jumping back in and out there in a few minutes.
4 seconds under the time for Dottie, for this 9-year-old. Isn't that a fantastic performance? It's a plain sailing for Team Australia. They're half done, 2 home. Clear 13 now for Figaro de Priest and Alexander Peronel for South Africa. That puts them to the cottages and onto the Connolly Red Mills shortly at 16.
Yeah, so again, just an 8-year-old by Quidam de Revel. And again, this horse is owned by Alex himself. They will be looking to really get this. It is an inexperienced horse at this level, but Alexander has the experience to get around, and being based in the UK, they're exposed to so many great events in the UK for producing these horses. And we'll see what he does here now at the Flynn's Bird's Nest at 7.
Love Dilshan, you know, those Aga Khan horses are fantastic. He won the Irish Oaks there the other day, the Aga Khan went down very well. But this fella again, Dilshan, he's down to Kilteely stud, J. Bow stands the side. Dilshan, lovely thoroughbred horse he is too. Lovely balance through this strong combination there at Flynn's at Bird's Nest 7A and B. Nicely done, Lucky Jojo. Well done, Team New Zealand.
So we are going to pick up there with Alexander. He is clear of fence 17 with Donna Hickey Motors Shelter. And now he comes to the Irish Bank just behind us, so we see it pops up very nicely. Has a little bit of a look, but he gets plenty of encouragement out over Part B. So well done, Alexander, giving the horse plenty of encouragement there. Just say, right, come on out, we're nearly there. As Figaro comes to the water, nice big jump in. Out through the nice splash through it. That will refresh him a little bit as they come up to the park.
Love the way he slipped his reins through. He sat back in the saddle and slips his reins. He knows what he's doing. Very nicely ridden there for Alexander Peterson there for South Africa. Puts him up to the Eventing Ireland Park question. Nice climb up the hill before he gets there.
Yeah, so here he comes. We can hear him, the horse. Bit of a high blower. You can hear just that noise coming from the nostrils, but he comes up to the park question. And you can see Alex sitting up nice and tall, keeping the hands up. Keep the horse's head up, pops up, keeps the horse looking forward. Very nicely done.
Nice pace, nice line, nice ride. Excellent. Yes, to the Eventing Island Park question. Want to see more of this Dilshan as well. Love Dilshan as a sire. And out of a lovely Irish bred mare as well, going back to I'll Be Lucky. And Kildalton King is in that pedigree as well. This lovely ISHTI traditional bred he is too. This 8-year-old, young in the grade. He'll be coming now to the Foreign Equine Fort very shortly.
Yes.
He's over and through. Excellent. Bit Media stick pile. Yes, for all your photographic needs here at Millstreet, Dreshan. Bit Media, go to the Bit Media website, and cracking photographs coming up online there.
Yeah, and Alexander Petronel and Figaro clear through the Horseport Ireland Shamrock Water at 22, making his way now down towards the last 3 fences.
Sire Figaro again, Quidam de Revel. I mean, what Jan Greb stood him, and the sire Quidam, who was then the sire Louis Dam, and he's an absolute progenitor, isn't he?
He's just phenomenal. The horses he's produced up to the highest level in show jumping and eventing, and he is probably one of the world's best sires at the moment, and has been for many years. But they make their way now down towards the last couple of fences for South Africa. Alexander Petronel and Figaro.
Lady Chin Van Marvin is out on track there for Team China. Yes, Wadang Sun, Tokyo Olympic with Lady Chin. And so they've been a long road together. Tokyo and now to Millstreet. One who sparkled 2-star long last year, and 4th Stragon 3-star. 5th Monteville Brady 4-star long in March. So good current form for Lady Chin Van Marvin. And Wadang Sun for the Wangsu Heelan International Equestrian Club Limited.
Yeah, so home for Alexander Petronel and Figaro. So we'll bring you their score once we have it. And like Chris was saying, we welcome our third rider for Team China. And Chris, you mentioned earlier that it's all about horsepower. And looking at the horses the Chinese team have, they're all of a very mature age. They've all been to the top level. So they are looking for these crucial points for Paris.
No doubt at all, and off to a very good start for Wadang Sun for sure. We're going to see them shortly over the Pat Lyons electrical hayrack and up the long climb up now Flynn's Hill to the bird's nest that awaits at the top at 7AB. Amazing performances from Team Australia. Japan, yes, they need to get their figure out a little bit too cracking now, and Japanese still to come. Yoshiyuwa still to come, and of course Kazu Tomoda and the lovely Brook Park Vakenti. Things can all change yet, yes, but at the moment, Team Australia just has their head in front.
Yes, they do, and I don't know what the scores are at the moment, the difference between them at the moment, but we'll keep you updated once we can.
Figure de Premise, score coming in. Yes, time recorded, 9:02. 12 time penalties, 48.7. Provisional total for Figure de Premise for Team South Africa.
So yeah, just looking at the team standings at the moment, and it is Australia out in the lead. Second, Japan just just under 6 points at 5.8 to be precise behind, and then New Zealand in about 9 points in third place at the moment, and then followed by China and South Africa. So all to play for at the moment, but Australia showing their strength, Chris.
Lucky Jojo, a little walk, a little look into the Wallace water. Do I want to go in there? Yes, I do. Dropped it in nicely, he does. And onto the Eventing Island Park question for this lovely son of Dilshan. Dilshan, straight thoroughbred by the great Shirley Heights.
He's a fine-looking, tall, upright horse, which, you know, coming to the park question now, just popped in very nicely. Plenty of encouragement. Popped in that little short stride, very clever.
It's nice that they know you have that in your tank, isn't it? That you have that. If you want to go short, you can, and he does it nicely. Just an 8-year-old, this fella, so he is on the learning curve still, and he's traditionally bred, and I love it, you know. We're watching him for sure. Lucky Jojo is called by Dilshan.
Yeah, and just, as you said, the 8-year-olds, only 2 8-year-olds in this CCI 3-star long. So it's a good step up for them, with plenty of education, and they're under top riders as well, giving them that valuable education. We saw the other one earlier under Nick Brooks.
Lady Chin, yes, nicely through brogans and brush corners. That's important for an equine. Yes, to the fort next, that AB to the skinny there at B for Wadang Sun. No fear, JRA Team Japan comes out to play again. A right player here, Yoshiyuwa. What a character he is too. A great ambassador for eventing for Japan. Yes, 4-time Olympian Yoshiyuwa. 4th Kililki 3-star short. And with Claire Abbott, this horse, no fear, JRA early days. And 8th Dragon 3-star short in March. So good form here from the jockey of the Duke of Cavan and Calais. And Tilly Roan Cruz JRA. He's some great horses, Yoshiyuwa. And wish him well now for Team Japan.
Yeah,
Definitely now
sure.
a question a federation own.
Yeah, Yoshi has plenty of experience, and lying 5th position individually. This is really, really valuable, and a great score, 28.5. And as you said, he knows what it takes to get to the Olympics and to compete at the Olympics as well. So they'll be flying. So Lucky Jojo is home for Nick Brooks. They are absolutely flying. So we'll bring you their score once we have it. Just an 8-year-old and just 2 8-year-olds in this class. We're going to pick up at Yoshi and No Fear RJA as he comes through the first water, jumps out the second part very nicely.
That was spring-heeled, wasn't it? He hit turbo and galloped quickly away from the water as well. He won't leave any stone unturned. Yoshiyuwa, he's hunting down Australia here at the moment, and he's got him in their sights nicely. Well placed coming in here, and he's going to put Team Japan right back up in the front order again.
For sure, as he comes flying around the corner to the Pat Lyons electrical hayrack, absolutely wings it, and the horse's ears are pricked. He's loving it, and it's great to see the all Team Japan. They have the distinct colours of red and white. You can see them coming, and they ride with with great confidence, and they attack every single fence as he comes flying up past us and coming through the line, killing there.
Lady Chin, yes, clean pair of heels through there on the downward run now to this lovely McDonough Motors shelter. Into space. It's a beautiful shelter here from the backside as well. Every kind of a farm animal lives under that shelter, and ears up nicely for Lady Chin, eyeing up the Irish bank, bottom of the hill. Ooh, whoa. Unfortunately, no for your JRA. Coming undone at 8B.
Just
An
seemed to
expensive stop there.
landed nicely, and he said, I'm going to push for the 4, and then you could just see that wobble coming to Part B, but unfortunately just came out to the right-hand side of it, the wrong side of the flag, but very quick thinking there by Yoshi. Take the black flag option. Yes, he's picked up 20 penalties, but he's hopefully not going to pick up too much time from that.
One thing we got to consider, 2 teams qualify here. 2 teams. And the favourites, of course, Australia and Japan. Now they
That was costly.
It was costly, but you're still 2 teams qualifying, and it's going to be Team Japan and Team Australia. I think
Well, New Zealand aren't that far behind.
a score for Lucky Jojo coming in. Dilshan, yes. Bread, yes. 8:50. The recorded time 7.2. 7.2 at 38.9 for Lucky Jojo. And Nick Brooks for New Zealand. You're right, New Zealand are knocking on the door. Suddenly it brings them back into context, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They were only 9 points off the lead coming in here. And those double 20s now for Tama Dalu and no Team JRA.
So I'll just have a quick check on the teams before handing you back to Sean, because we have our current overnight leader. So yeah, Australia's still out in front. Japan, they're not that far ahead of Team China coming into 3rd, Chris. Team China are the ones to be looking at now. So I'll be keeping an eye on Team China, because we already have one rider on the course, and then Alex Hatian yet to come. So I'm going to hand you back to Sean as we welcome our next starter for Team Australia. It is your overnight leader.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. Things are getting very tense in the commentary position here.
They were tense in Team Australia as well coming in, and you know what?
Well, what a great start.
I mean, the old dog for the hard road, isn't it?
Our 2 experienced riders, 8 Olympics, 3 Olympics, and now we have the new girl on the block, Sinead Lowings. She was
lovely thoroughbred bull venture, and by Dawaja, who's the son of the great Sir Tristram in New Zealand champion. Sorry, he was Sir Tristram. Going back to
now,
Sir
Chris, this
Ivor.
horse was picked up by the Lowings as a 3-year-old off the track, too slow a racehorse, and Gino Paletti in Western Australia, the trainer, trained this horse first, and they got him as a 3-year-old, and Sinead has brought him up all the way through. She's a local girl home in Perth. So we couldn't be any prouder.
I can hear it in your voice. You know, one Tamworth 4-star short last year, one Reba 4-star long from a field of 41 on a 25.3 score, one Adelaide 4-star short. This is win-win-win, and we're in a winning position here. Bold Venture, we wish you well for Team Australia. As far as the Drummond Hill Farmyard, at 3.
Well, she's certainly the least experienced, but a great run at Petone. She didn't make the team, rode as an individual, and finished the highest placed Australian rider in Italy. So, you know, this is really the future of Australian eventing right here, right now in front of us. So I hope everyone back in Perth is watching.
Yes, and they will, and they'll be shouting her on, you know. But she's in great company with Andrew and with Shane, isn't it? I mean, to hold her hand a little bit, not that she needs it, but that experience they've already gained off the track. We wish her well. She's up to the first water.
Well, she's certainly the form rider. She had a great win at Adelaide only 2.5, 3 weeks ago. Flew out here with Shane's horse, and she's going super with her horse there.
No Fear GRA coming back into shot from a lovely Swackley live stream.
.363. Yoshiaki coming around. Oh, a little bit sticky there at the lime kiln.
Nothing in it with these teams. Yes, Team NZ with 2 runners completed have overtaken Team JRA Japan, and it is, and 103.8 for Team New Zealand after 2 runners. 80.7 advantage Australia.
No problems for Sinead and the Flynn's Bird's Nest. A-B, 5 strides through, technically beautiful, lovely and straight and controlled as she gallops on now across the crossing there, the lane over the Normandy Bank.
Score comes in for Lady Chin. Yes, Lady Chin, Huadang's son. Yes, recorded time of 8:50. 7.2 time penalties, 37.7 for Lady Chin. And China's right back in there again.
Up on the Normandy Bank, Chris, just behind us, sorry. Safely over the Normandy Bank there for Yoshiaki as he comes up to the Wallace Water drop. Safely in, just a canter out and up the hill towards us. Meanwhile, Bold Venture, Sinead Lowings. big long run up to Brogan's brush corners. Fast and clear at 9A for Shanae and Bold Venture going beautifully. Third rider up for Australia. First two home clear with no penalties.
Yes, and he can't be caught now. Yoshiua, good shot there through this Eventing Island Park question for No Fear JRA down to the Millstreet train at 21.
Great job there by Shanae through the replay there of Shanae and Bold Venture through the 4N Equine Fort, out over the castle, then over the skiddy, really riding a controlled round. I'm not sure whether she'll push the button, Chris, or not. She knows the first two riders are home with no penalties, but a bit of youthful exuberance, she might kick on and go, let's go, son, let's show them what we got.
Well, the thoroughbred in it as well. It's a lovely picture, isn't it? Beautiful picture to watch. And No Fear GRA nearly home. Yes, but as far as the Berry Tees Oxford, now the Equine Warehouse Gypsy Caravans to get Yoshiua home. Picked up that 20, a costly one for JRA, but we'll see again, long way from finish yet.
Way up in that back corner is Shanae and Bold Venture as they go over the double, the brushes and the table. Nice big gallop back, so that was clear at the double, 13AB.
Coming out to play, yes, for Team RSE, South Africa. Alexander Munn, it is the Spice Merchant, 32.5. Their score puts them in 14th spot coming in. 11th in the South of England, 3-star short, 11th a little down and 4-star short last year for the Spice Merchant.
On the camera now, coming into the first feel of the water. Alex Munn and his 11-year-old Bay Gelding.
Yeah, Oz Vivendi, great sire as well. Stood in Ballymarine, stood the Quirks there down in Littleton, County Tipperary. Great jumping horse. He threw some lovely jumping horses as well. Sire of Spice Merchant going nicely on up to Hill to Flynn's.
And there we have Shanae and Bold Venture coming down through the kiln. She's having a push on there. He had a little look. It's very shadowy now. It's that water. Certainly Bold Venture wouldn't have seen anything like that waterfall down to his left as Shanae got his focus and got him over that skinny and kicked on. We'll be seeing him very soon as he comes to the big ski jump and jump into fresh air. Here we go. Mum and Dad, heart in their mouth. All of Australia wishing Shanae the best and cheering her on from home.
Yeah, and if you want to win this, the best to do is lead from the front, and she is bang there up front. She is to the Irish Bank. Goes at Bold Venture, this lovely thoroughbred. Grandson of the great Sir Tristram, great-grandson of the great Sir Ivor.
Just holding that canter now. Show jump canter up onto the bank, controlled, a little pop down, a little pop over. Go Shanae, go Bold Venture.
Yeah, lovely, lovely question. Well answered there from Bold Venture, heading for Wallace Water. Spice Merchant nicely down to the Flynn's Folly. Yeah, and a super line. So it takes out the white flag. They'll have a look at that, but it looked
pretty clean, didn't it, Chris? Yeah. Meanwhile, Shanae comes up to us, the last pull up the hill, but pretty easy work for this very informed, well-travelled, thoroughbred horse. Up to the question. The park question, into the corner. He's a smashing-looking horse. Beautifully presented in the trot up. One stride, over the little ditch. Easy as you like, full of running. Go the Aussie thoroughbred, go Shanae.
Looking good, looking very good. Down to the Millstreet train at 21. Score coming in for Yoshiua for Team Japan. Yes, picked up that 20 cross-country, 9.10 time and 15.2 time penalties total. 63.7 for No Fear JRA.
There was plenty of cheering as Shanae went past there. Mumby and Dad Mark, they're over here. We had a quiet little, a very quiet little celebration last night after their great result in the dressage, but it might get a little bit noisier tonight, but still a way to go. There's still a show jumping phase, Chris.
Yeah, and 3 more fences to jump. Barry's Tee also.
Oh, Barry's Tee, what a drop and what a jump.
Yeah, we're nearly there for Team Australia to seal it, I think, and just the last two, the Equine Warehouse Gypsy Caravans. Complete view. Spice Merchant should be over the Normandy Bank and onto the Brogan's Brush Corners.
We'll be keeping a close eye on the clock for Shanae and Bold Venture. They must be nearly over the finish line. We'll let you know as soon as we know. 3. Sorry, Chris. Alex Munn now, heading up the hill. Shanae home. Home safely for Shanae and Bold Venture. Great news. We'll keep you right up to date. She's our current leader and coming out on the course now for New Zealand. What a superstar and what an inspiration too for Shanae is Janelle Price riding the Chile morning bred horse, Chile's Midnight Star, Chris.
Yeah, famous horse for William Fox for Chile morning. Isn't it great? Yeah. And for Nicky Axon, Mel Halstead, bred by Nicky Axon, a homebred as well as that.
Mum Leanne and Dad Mark really bouncing around at the moment. We're just going to wait until we can get a score before you pry the microphone out of my hand.
Just waiting for that time score to show. We know it's clear across the country. We know the first 2 team members have gone clear, and a third one to add.
Well, that's 3 for 3 for Australia, and Shanae maintains the first position. I'll leave you on that one, Chris.
Yay, good on you. Good on you, Shane. He's into this big time, and well done, Team Australia. 3 home, 3 within the time, and what a performance. They meant business coming in here, Tom, didn't
amazing.
they? Amazing.
It's a team of 4 event, and it just takes 3 to do an amazing job. 3 clear, 3 inside the time.
Team New Zealand,
Shane.
yes, world number 2 out on track. Janelle Price, great to have Janelle and Tim here. Janelle on the 3-star long here on this chilly morning gelding. Chilly Midnight Star. They're up as far as the Horsewood Island water.
He needs to. Yes, Shaney retains the overnight lead as well, so that's fantastic achievement there for Bold Adventure and Shaney Lowings and Australia. So, Janelle Price, a name that needs no introduction, as Chris was saying. A beautiful horse by Chile Morning, Chile's Midnight Star. Only a 9-year-old, so we have about 3 9-year-olds in this competition. And they're doing very well as she comes out to the first question at fence number 7, the Flynn's Bird's Nest A and B.
Yeah, nice question coming up here from this youngster, Chile Morning youngster. And 4 strides is possible. 5 strides is probably the perfect distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, nicely through. Held the line, held the focus. And a very nice run there for Janelle, of course, and this Chile's Midnight Star.
Yeah, the Spice Merchant clear all the way at fences 15, 16. Coming now, flies over fence 17 behind us. He went so quick we didn't even see him. The Donna Hickey Motors Shelter at 17. So Spice Merchant and Alex Munn flying down the hill towards the Irish Bank.
Yeah, I'd love to see how they equate the answer to this question at the Irish Bank. Oh, this fella barely got up and barely got airborne, and has to circle back to take the C part. He's crossing track, so he's going to pick up his 20 there, unfortunately, for the Spice Merchant.
Yeah, that was unlucky. You could see the horse, he started going to take off and didn't. And
he did well to find his legs on landing.
Sure did, yeah. So it's such a shame. But an Irish sport horse, he knows that 5th leg exists.
Yes.
So he makes his way to the Wellens Water as we will pick up a Janelle Price. And she is clear over fence 8A and B, the Normandy Bank, making her way to Brogan's Bush Corners at 9.
As what Chan Reddy in the Starbucks have a good one there for Team China. Team China not out of this, not by a long shot. And yes, they've overtaken by about 10 marks Team Japan. So a lot of riding on this round here now for Chico and Alex Watchan. They're in the start box.
Yeah, so this horse, oh my, Polly Stockton and Kate Willis. Kate has been working with Alex for, God, many, many years. Over 10 years they've been working together, traveled the world together and produced horses up to 5-star level. And Alex knows his way around these big courses, representing China, 2 Olympic Games, if not 3. And this 13-year-old, Chico, and they're looking to see what they can do. Joining us on a score, 30.9.
Yeah, John Janero was his great horse, wasn't it? And finished 8th in the Rio Olympics. Brilliant. 7th in the Olympics. And the 3-time Olympian Alex, yes, he's away. This horse, Lock-on Korea by Cordon La Briere. Going back, of course, the sire, Furioso. 10th Belgium, 3-star short, Polly Stockton, and 8-star Ancestor Advance. That was with Polly. But, second in the chest with 4-star short to be exclusive last time up with Alex Watchan. They're away. Drumnhill Farmyard comes up at 3.
Yeah, so just 3, well, 2 more to start and 3 on the course. So coming down towards the very end of the course, it is for South Africa, the Spice Merchant there and Alex Munn. Maybe just looking to complete as we pick up at Janelle Price. Big jump over that part B. She gets round and takes a sharp turn as we join Alex over the Ballymilly Relish picnic tables as he makes his way to the Horse Sport Ireland Shamrock Water. Chico just has a little look in and says, right, okay, the water's not going to bite me. Pops in nicely over part B, very smooth. And Alex then just gives the horse a little pat, loosens the reins. Up the hill we go.
Yes, Chico nicely through that first water. We see him shortly to the Pat Lyons Electrical. And we see him climbing the hill now to Flynn's Folly. First Pat Lyons Electrical. He's a lovely, classy rider to watch, isn't he, Alex Watchan?
Just going to say Alex spends a lot of time show jumping with the Davenports in Cheshire, where he's based. And a lot of work on the dressage as well, so they do all three disciplines. And
Janelle Price, yes, horse couldn't lock onto the skinny in the Connolly Red Mills water. Horse never actually saw those flags. And Janelle going to come back for a second look at this skinny brush in the Connolly Red Mills.
The horse had his eye on something else coming through, but Janelle will sit him up there and pop that very nicely. And the prices themselves have a great setup. Chris Burton is based at their yard as well. Chris show jumping in France recently, and he will be back eventing as well. But we're going to pick up at Alex as he comes to the Flynn's Bird's Nest at 7. Look at that, precision riding, pops it nicely, knows he's going to flow down the hill to Part B on 5 strides.
Yeah, he's a long time at the game, isn't he? And he's a classy rider to watch. And this Chico going very, very nicely for Alex Watchan. And all to play for. We know that Team Australia is in a very, very healthy position on the scoreboard. Yes, what a round from Bow Venture, and to go 3 for 3 clear within the time for Team Australia. But the real fight is on for second, isn't it? Nothing really between Team Japan, only 7 points, and Team...
So yeah, Chris, you were saying there, Alex has been around, and he's only 33. He's one of the youngest Olympic eventing riders to make the Olympics when he started out eventing. So he'll be flying as he's over the Normandy Bank at 8A and B, making his way to the Brogan's Bush Corners at 9.
Spice Merchant time, 9:30. Yes, penalties 23.2, 75.7 provisional total for the Spice Merchant and Alexandra Munn.
So Janelle Price through the park question, and that was not a question at all, straight through there. Your horse's ears are still pricked, so we pick up now on the live stream. And it's Alex Hatian and Chico.
Very important round for Alex, you know, because following him is going to be Brookvark Kenty, and these two horses are going to decide who leads going to third phase for that qualifying spot again. Is it going to be Team Japan? Is it going to be Team China? And there is nothing between them, 7 points. It's only a couple of time penalties, isn't it? So important rounds for sure. To the last water goes Janelle Price and this lovely Chili's Midnight Star. Nice run through, and showed a bit of greenness there a couple of times down the track. Going to pick up that 20 at the Connolly Red Mills.
That will be quite costly.
Nearly home.
Be quite costly as well for Team New Zealand. So our next starter, Chris.
Yeah, Brookvark Kenty, we know him well. Michael Ryan produced him to great effect here. Trevor Kingston bred him just down the road here in County Cork, and so proud of him, this Master Rim horse out of their lovely mare Talinsky Butler Simon. So well done, Tristan Kingston. You've bred a real good one, you know it is. And second battle down is 4-star long there last year to Swirly Temptress, and one little down and 4-star short. International winner Brookvark Kenty comes out to put Team Japan back in the reckoning.
Yeah, so Alex Hatian and the corner brushes at fence 13A and B, very nicely done. Shave the corner as well to keep as much time as he can. As we now join Kazuma Tamata and Brookfield Vicenti, into the first water. Clean as anything there through there. Pat on the next end, right? Come on, boy. Let's go.
He's a master Rim, of course, and they are tough as boots, and they're like the Puissants. Well, they're both by Imperious, aren't they?
Yeah.
And great horses, and they've got a great tune, a great combination, these two. And we love them, Kazu Tomoda and Brookvark Kenty.
Yeah, Alex Hatian flying there through fences. 14 and 15 as he comes now down the hill to the Connolly's Red Mills Lime Kill. So, 7.
Brookvark Kenty, yes, up to Flynn's Folly, isn't it? Yes, last horse for Team Japan, Kazu Tomoda, looking for a good shot here. Here's flat back, says, bring on that hill. He says he's fighting his way up that hill. Alex Watchan, good over the Connolly Red Mills.
Yeah, you saw him, he widens the hands, keep the horse nice and straight, plenty of encouragement as well.
Seen William Fox Pitt do that many a time, keeps him straight.
Keep the legs where they need to be, and the hands will guide them where they need to go as well. And
now, come on, Kazu Tomoda on this lovely Irish bred, Master Rim bred, Tristan Kingston bred. Good over A, they're all good over A. What about B? Whoa. Super at B, a little bit wild and woolly, but we're okay.
takes the flag out, but that's all right. The shoulders of the horse and the rider's knee went through the flags. That is okay.
Chile's Midnight Star, yes, score coming in at 20 penalties, yes, at the Lime Kilns. 9:11 the time, 15.6 penalties to add, 61.7 provisional total for Chile's Midnight Star.
Yeah, Alex Hatian, Chico flies over the Irish bank to Part B very nicely. Comes to the Wallace Water.
How's the pace there, do you think? Well, what's your impression, Tom?
Stride. Like, he's a big horse and he's probably deceptively quick, but he hasn't broken stride at all now, and Alex is giving him plenty of encouragement, and he's coming up, and the horse is still full of running.
It's between him and Kazutomoto who's going to decide the leading order coming into last phase.
So coming to the part question, Alex Hatian, 14 China, a very experienced rider, and this horse again stepping up towards, well, becoming a team horse, and as it comes to the part question, one stride and out. Absolutely lovely. Well
That's
done,
copybook, isn't it? Copybook it was too. On the downhill run to the Millstreet train for Alex Huachan. Last horse for the team China. And Polly Stockton gave me a close eye here, no doubt, as well. Chico looking good. Now, it's all about these last couple of horses, isn't it? We've got Brookmark Vicenti well out on track to the Normandy. Bank Brogan's Brush Corners coming up for they. And the last for Team Australia. Yes, it's done and dusted, we know that, but a loose jog chasing Chico. Somebody needs to catch that dog real quick. Somebody's dog is chasing Chico. That's not fair, is it? Dog's caught. Is the owner caught?
He might be in court tomorrow, Chris.
No, that's not fair. Keep your dogs well contained. Brickfuck Vicenti to the foreign equine Ford. I love this horse, this master in boss. Mike Ryan had such great days on him, and his brother Huey as well. And we have coming out on track for Team Australia. Last member, Kevin McNabb. Brilliant rider, Kevin.
Yeah, great to see at the last Australian rider on the track. Chris, 369, it is in fact Kevin McNabb on Scuderia 1918, a best friend. Quite a mouthful.
He is too. But,
even you might struggle to not get tongue twisted, but you can speak like a million miles an hour, but that is well, one hell of a name, isn't it? But a great horse.
Yeah, by the third with Albaran. Love the Albaran. One Millstreet 4-star short, so a 4-star international winner here back in 21, and fourth in the Po 5-star. To the great Falco, to CHF Coolizer, to McLaren. Top form with a top jock and a top horse on track here. Scuderia 1918. Yes, the friend, 2-3. Good over the Ballymaloe relish picnic table for Kevin McNabb. He's won a lot of internationals here as well.
Well, another of our Olympic representatives, Chris, Tokyo 2020. So we'd like to think that we've got our A team here with of course our future star in Sinead leading after cross country. But the boys are certainly, I'm sure they've given us so much support. Kevin himself, 45 years of age, Emma and two daughters, based in Surrey, and of course Pretoria. Not that long ago, Kevin had that unfortunate broken gear moment where I think a rein broke and he had to tie it back on, turn around and get on again. So he certainly had to make do with an awkward situation.
Team China have scored a real good result with Chico. 4.4 time penalties only, 8:43 that time recorded, 35.3. There is nothing between.
Kevin cantering past us now as he heads up the hill, and the last horse in this competition to be tackling the Bird's Nest A, B. We've seen some beautiful lines through there. We've seen some very smooth lines, but we've seen a few incidents as well. It was always one of those fences on first impressions. You just had the feeling that it could be a fairly influential fence. Here we go, Kevin McNabb, Scuderia. Held for 5, beautifully ridden. Well done, Kevin. I know there's plenty of Australians watching back at very wee hours of the morning back at home, and if you haven't been watching, I'm not sure what you've been up to, but if you've just woken up, we've got 3 horses home, all within time, and things looking great.
Well, you've got a great ambassador in our race caller here for Team Australia for sure. He loves it. Brook Park Vicenti, we love our Irish breds coming down to the Wallace Water. Brook Park Vicenti can still do it for Japan. Yes, they can. Only 7-8 penalty points dividing Team China and Team Japan.
Just
here's the Inventing Island Park question. He's so neat on his feet, is Brook Park Vicenti. Keeping up a good gallop, he needs to. Yes, there's only 7 points between them.
Lovely through that combination. Just the two horses, one there for the Japanese team, and arguably their most experienced rider there in Kazuma Tomoto. Really putting a polished position. He comes down through that last water, the Shamrock water, over the beautifully sculpted Swan, and on his way.
Yes.
Not far to go now for the last Japanese rider to get home.
He had a quick look at his watch there when I was doing, because there's only 7 penalty points between the two teams.
Very tight.
It is very tight. We don't know how it's going to play. We know he's going to go finish clear. Come on.
Here goes Kevin. Kevin out through the beautiful 4N Equine Fort, holds that stride. He'll be very aware that the three are home on zero, but a very professional, polished rider is Kevin. And he'll be making sure that he does everything he can to replicate those 3 results, 3 zeros, and the best of luck, Kevin.
He rides Willunga as well, doesn't he?
He does.
For him. And one of our top young riders spent the last 2 years with him, Robbie Cairns, and we see how effective he was in the last class. And he learned plenty at Kevin's. Lovely teacher, lovely horseman.
Canters across, way back into the back corner near the castle. Kazuma home, Kazuma Tomoto for Japan. Just been told he's crossed the line. We'll get you up to date with his time in a moment. So one horse on the course, Chris, and it's the Aussie, it's Kevin McNabb.
We've got a time to come in for Brook Park McKenty. Has he done it? Has he done enough?
Kevin McNabb going down through the combination right down near the Deshane Castle and gallops back up towards us. He's got the course to himself, one horse and one whole country watching him as he gallops around. The live streaming bringing us some great pictures here of Kevin and Scuderia. The last horse on the course, the last member of our team.
Brook Park McKenty, again, taking a leaf out of Australia's book, goes clear. That Irish horse, Irish sport horse, Irish traditional bred, nothing to add to their
congratulations,
time.
Kazuma, what a great round.
Brilliant for Brook Park McKenty, brilliant for Team Japan, but I don't think it's quite enough to go into overtake Team China going into third phase.
Kevin heading down the hill now, that little left-hand turn. This very experienced horse, I'm sure the waterfall won't bother him. Out of the bright sunshine, into the water. Kevin taking it very casually. Oh my goodness, he trotted in there.
I think that's just cool out. You allow the horse read the question. Do you see it? Do you see it? And he says, I think I do. And then we go. Yes. He is a cool customer.
Yeah, he's very cool. It was there was no rush. There wasn't kicking and flapping. He knew exactly what he intended to do as he comes past us now to the big jump off into the open air. The last Aussie rider, he's on course. Can he anchor the team home? There's 3 home with no jumping penalties. A critical competition here for the Olympic qualifier for Australia.
And there's some bragging rights in the Team Australia as well, isn't there? Listed a little bit.
Well, there's a nice little bit of competitiveness between ourselves and our fellow Southerners in New Zealand. And of course, there's friendships all around with the Japanese, the Chinese, the South Africans, and it's really, best wishes to whoever does the best on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Scuderia 1918, the best friend, giving a display then out to the Wallace.
Lovely drop down. It's, we should have the cameras only on Kevin at the moment, the only horse on the course. He's still galloping along nicely, Chris. I like what I see.
Yeah, he's a top horse. He's a very, very good horse.
Oh, he's just eating up the ground. He is pricked as he comes up to this corner. Kevin left that as late as he could to hold. Some of the riders have been holding and getting their stride back much earlier. Kevin hasn't wasted any time. Really balanced off that corner. Over the ditch, one stride. Oh, just a little bit of a long rein there, but he kicked along. Scuderia, big flash of the tail. Off he goes.
Looks down at his watch, and I'd say he is well enough happy. Yes, the ears up from a happy horse too, coming into the the Shamrock Water, Westport Island Water, coming home.
One more to go. The big train over the coal train, and now the Shamrock Water. 2 efforts, A and B, nicely in over the rail, fairly straightforward. The big Swan, beautifully over. There's not much left, Chris. It's nearly home. Over the Barry's Tee at 23.
Yeah, big oxer, lovely big oxer. Get him off the ground coming home.
Oh, a nice big jump over 23. 3 jumping efforts left. The Wagons, 24, A, B, 25, the last fence. And we do lose a little bit of the picture here, but we'll be listening out to the radio contact through the jump judges. Kevin McNabb, Scuderia. Rider 369, the last horse in the Olympic qualifier competition. Australia with 3 riders home on 0.
If he makes the time, he goes into clear second spot individually as well.
Oh, that's a great result also for Kevin individually. Clear at 24 AB. The Equine Warehouse, the Gypsy Wagons, a beautifully dressed fence. 1 fence. Home won't seem any sweeter for Kevin McNabb. The Australian team, he's home. Thumbs up from the scorers. We'll just wait on the time. And seemingly a great result today across the country. 3 of our horses home with 0 time penalties. We'll just keep an eye on the 4th. He looked to be covering pretty comfortably. We'll wait for the official score.
8:43, just a little bit of time there.
Just a little bit of time.
4.4 time, puts him in 5th spot individually going in.
5th individually now there for Kevin McNabb.
But well done, Team Australia, 85.1. With their 4 team members. What a score from them. Yes, they're going to lead into 3rd phase. China, yes, in 2nd spot, 113.7 going into last phase. Japan, not far behind, 120.6. New Zealand, 139.4. And South Africa, 199. All going forward for show jumping tomorrow. Individually, yes, our top 5. Kevin McNabb just gone to this finishing flag zone at 31.5. For Japan, Fioruza Numwood and Ryozo Kitajima on a 29.4. In 3rd spot, Andrew Hoy and the lovely Vasily de Lassos, 28.7 on his dressage score, as is Kazutomoto and the Irish bred, the traditional Irish bred Brookmark McKenty on a 28.6, but well ahead, a fence ahead individually. Sinead Lowings and Bold Venture gave a masterclass out there. Well done, Australia. We look forward to the combination of the 3-star long and for show jumping tomorrow. Well, that's us done here for the day. Well done, Carol, and your amazing scoring team and the control team here. To Rhett and Stell for the live scoring, absolutely brilliant. And for Sweat Coney, fantastic footage all the way through the day. We've got a lovely evening still to spend here in great company in Millstreet, Drishan, and we hope to get your company back again for the Nations Cup there tomorrow and the culmination of the short formats, 2 stars and 1 stars. So enjoy the night, and we let the Aussies enjoy their Fosters. And
it is a 3-phase competition, Chris. Don't forget that. We won't. It'll be a well done all round back in the stables, and I can't wait to get back there. And tomorrow's another day, but wow, what a day for Australia's eventing today.
Shane, you know what? Thanks for your company and your excitement and your passion for the game, because that's what keeps us all going.
Yeah, it is really important for the country, and I hope plenty of people tuned in to the live stream all across the country, and supporters, sponsors, friends alike. And it was a great day. Signing off now, and a big thanks, of course, to Team Duggan here. Wow, what a great effort they do. Better presented and cared for course you couldn't find. A big thanks to Thomas and all the team, and of course Noel C, wherever you are this afternoon, Noel. I'm sure you're sitting back very proud of another great cross-country day, and we'll catch you all tomorrow.
I just see all the fence stewards making their way home as well. And listen, it's a huge team effort, isn't it? It couldn't happen without you. To everybody here at Millstreet putting this great show together, and especially our hosts, Noel C. and Thomas and your families. Many, many thanks. Shlana while you're those going home, and we look forward to your company tomorrow.